Poppy to get on top of the Zeri. That can be very threatening. And Zeri often positions next to walls to then slide over it, which Poppy can then punish. You better know what you're doing here, Weibo. 2025.
Xiaoshu was 0-6 on Ambessa all time, and ain't looking like that's changing anytime soon. Does get a decent chunk onto Breathe, who did flash, ends up being a 1-for-1, but the plate goes over to Weibo.
No, well played by Xiaoshu. Just about makes it through without taking too much damage. Will be able to teleport back up. Loses, I guess he's losing about 4-5 minions, so it's not... It could have been worse, but it's still not fantastic. Dive on the other side now. Defensive teleport from Yorick.
The headbutt, the pulverized Chris just about survives the Dark and Daggers, but Pays will get a last auto and flash away Light, looking to get some damage back. And actually, with Xiaohu coming on down, JDG needs to be a bit careful on the retreat. In September!
Pays, does he have... he needs to be really careful here because he can't just slide over the wall, and that Galio has to come in.
Galio does indeed have to come in. Pays still standing up, firing, gets a kill, slides over. Elegant from Pays and JDG.
The Galio ult comes in, and Xiaohu, my dude, you are going into a 1v2, does have the phase rush and the passive, will get out safe. Pays didn't have flash, and I think that Breathe had a pretty good angle. Xiaoshu now under threat on top side.
Has no flash, got a public execution. The Dream gets knocked up, can't press the R until just now, and really leads to very little indeed. Light tanks a fair amount of the aggro. They're going to try and allow the aggro to reset to allow the kill. It does work, but Crisp goes down. Another kill in the 1v3.
Xiaoshu with the map is now naught instead of crosses.
Well, it's not. It's come to naught so far, but Crisp is looking for grand entrance, and Shun will call the pack to avoid it. Dragon started. Light may need to flap out to safety on the other side. Ingo Scout with a flash. Shield of Durand. Light still free firing though, getting a lot of damage, but Pays returns the favor. Managed to make the lightning crash. Public execution. The hero's entrance requires Weibo to exit shortly, but the damage back is looking good. Light still untouched. Xiaohu managed to get a lot of AoE down. The realm warp forwards. Good damage back, and they will kill off at least another one. Get a couple back. Good knock up as Light goes to over the wall. Needs to survive. Pays still free firing. Breathe now in danger. It's a messy fight. Ends up being a wall right there. Takes him over to Gromp rather than over towards the damage to get in range for it. Still has to burn the flash. Does get that kill, but I wonder whether it was a world where he could have managed to pick up Light there as well if he'd gotten across the wall in slightly more elegant fashion. Either way, come back to life. Weibo with 3 grubs, a Rise, and a Yorick to take down first turret there.
Yeah, they have the 3 grubs, as you were saying. Makes it a lot easier. Xiaoshu will be given individual gold down here, though. Does manage to get that, well, that one last plate. Won't get the full 5 plates off the turret. We'll go over to 14 minutes now, so we'll time out. He'll get himself enough to take down the turret all the same. And JDG even on gold still.
Okay, he's now in danger as they collapse into mid lane.
Yeah.
They went through down the Ghost as well as trying to find some value. Needs to speed up in there. Over there you go, looking at Light with the Hound's pursuit. Mom is summoned. Shun now in danger. Turret shot, and Light survives. Now the Rune Prison lands on the Jewel. Public execution is glorious from Xiaoshu, and the dragon is snatched out of the sky. Knock up on the Xiaoshu, but flashing out of the Dark Procession. Another 3-man shield of Durand. And Base is still full autoing. So much ammunition in this machine gun. Continue to brap in the backline and Breathe. Get smacked.
JDG use all the ammunition available to them. Another taunt scout will die to the turret, but it will be at the cost of Tien falling to a heavy price paid in the mid lane from Weibo as JDG take over the game, will take the mid lane turret, and they'll get themselves well in control of this deciding game, potentially. The LPL brawl, and now in the regionals. We are there again. JDG Weibo, a famous matchup here in the LPL. This time at death's door for both teams. Dragon started, flashing in, they can see Ambessa.
Sure finds the headbutt, pulverize, Ambessa follows with a public execution. Mom is summoned, Realm Warp's coming on in, they've killed off the Neferi. TM flashes on out, and this is actually looking okay for Weibo. Decent disengage.
Going towards the Dragon, and Atakan is spawning in the next 5 seconds. That's a huge win for Weibo. They get the kill on the Smolder, and they stop the smite coming through. Fumble from JDG, they don't get the carries locked down.
Light notably has kept both flash and barrier to make this happen.
Drag speed as possible because it gets you towards higher AD. Less AoE, but great single target Pays. Wants the mobility to chase down as well. Atakan being flipped. JDG, can they make this work?
I can smell an Intercon. It's coming again. It's happened all the time here in the LPL, down to 3,000 HP. Weibo in place. Flash for the shield of Duranton. Dien steals the Intercon! I just can't believe it happens again. The fight afterwards looking decent for a moment or two. A double for Paige, a public execution. Mom is summoned, but Paige says absolutely not. Triple kill to the Zeri in trade for the Atakan.
They lose the objective, but win the fight. 3 for none. JDG will summon the Herald and put it into the bot lane in a turret as well. Weibo, they get themselves a bit more scaling, I suppose, from the Atakan, a bit more value from the XP and everything. But I'm getting a little bit worried about these fights and how they are starting to give more and more gold over to the Zeri. Yes, the Smolder will do late game havoc on JDG.
More than willing to flip it Atakan, unlike the Baron where you can keep people out of it a lot more easy. It's just hard to do that with Atakan.
Light 226 stacks. That's one more than he needs for that full evolution of the Smolder passive. However, Zeri does have that crazy item core. How much work can Light do on the Smolder? Feels like this is now going to be a battle of who gets the more clean fight in terms of the carries. Going under the turret, Smolder used to clear the wave.
Summoned indeed as wave clear option. Jor taking the turret aggro, does a decent job. It's a decent knock away, but it doesn't matter that much right now. They've killed off the Alistair, but now Xiaoshu's got a little bit split off. Blown up Light, importantly, the Smolder is down.
JDG will need to make sure they're not ejected at the worst time. Crisp doesn't have flash, running the teleport. His heals on cooldown, so he's not at max value either. Xiaoshu
gets stunned up with the steadfast present. Redemption coming on through keeps him alive, but my days, the Smolder damage.
Has the death stand side, but no, maybe not. It's just the burn from there going towards the flip.
Gonna be a flip again. 2,000 HP. This would be Soul Point if they can get it. No. Poppy secured. Flashed under the wall. Pays is dead. Wonderful angle from Tien. This time they die. And Smolder is still untouched. Flap, flap, flap. Growing up to be Smaug in this game. Tien going on forwards does eventually fall to the hero's entrance, but a realm warp forwards. A grand entrance knockup, and JDG capitulate at the dragon fight.
Dragon taken by Weibo, and I wonder what they'll take next. Do that. Hang on a second. Ult miss from Xiaoshu. Very close there. Could have turned things around for a kill onto Xiaohu. I was wondering whether Weibo would go straight towards the Baron. Fight and a half, really, haven't they? This is now within Smolder takeover range. Despite the gold disadvantage, Shun struggling there. Another Q onto him. Struggling on the Neferi this game, realistically. And tilted into the backline.
Oh, public execution gets them again. Xiaoshu immediately exhausted. The Dark Procession. Smolder ult as well. And they blast Ambessa. Flash away from Light. He's still going. Wonderful team fighting. Chris with the battle lance forward helps keep Breathe alive. Flashing from Tien. Looking for the buckler. The burn comes on through. They kill another. Pays struggling to find value. Xiaohu flashing. Looking for the overload. Pays surviving. Gets the kill. The hero's entrance. Knock up only on one. It's a triple kill. Over to the side of the Smolder, who's picked up the Quadra. Say it with me. Pentakill!
The light at the end of the tunnel is a freight train which hits JDG for 6, 5 for 2 in the fight. Weibo have their comeback. They win the fight. They will get the Baron, and Weibo are back in this game. The Smolder had the 3 items, and JDG just couldn't close down the backline. They couldn't reach the Smolder quickly enough. And Light
suddenly you're back to life. Big chunk of it through Pays though. Looking to free fire lightning crash, but Mom is summoned again. Oh my god, the damage from Light. He's got a GA. It doesn't matter if he dies. The burn's still coming. Calls the pack. Dies while he is in regen. Scout gets a decent chunk, but will surely fall. You killed the dragon, but you lose every single member to do it. St. George in the grave.
Weibo JDG, the matchup which always brings the entertainment, always goes and gives you a little more than you think it should. Weibo will not go quietly out of World's contention. The light burns strong, a bonfire out of a candle. Weibo will bring us to 4 games.
They had to justify the Smolder over the Zeri. We weren't sure about it. We saw Pays get the 5 kills early, and Light laughs in our faces and leaves JDG as ash and dust in the wind. We go to game 4.